Hey, everybody. It says we're live. Welcome, everybody, to Thursday Night Live. Glad you're here. We got a good full house. Even got some folks already in the chat on the side here. Classic Bricks is here. He's got a question for us at our topic today. Jeff Van Winden is here. Good to have you here. MJ Bricks, good to have you. As always, Red Carnage. Yes, we are having a pleasant evening. I don't know about you, but it is flipping cold in Georgia today. I don't know what it is, but it says 38. It feels 15 outside here, and I'm not sure what the deal is. But we better see some Chima. Sorry, MJ. I can't boot you from the side chat right yet, but make another comment like that. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. Maybe somebody will find Chima. Too bad nobody like kids did, but anyway. All right. So
wait. That's not entirely true because there was a small Giddens who was a big Chima fan, was he not?
There was a small Giddens who was, and then when they said that Ninjago's coming back, he's like, "Forget this, I'm going back to Ninjago."
Well, Chima or Bionicle?
Ooh,
Bionicles aren't minifigures.
Bionicles aren't even Lego.
They made minifigures.
Shots fired already. Controversial and early. Let's go around the room and see what's going on. TJ is here. Speaking of, we mentioned Ninjago, and TJ shows up. TJ knows all about Ninjago. If you've never seen him on a stream, but TJ knows it all. Let's go around the room. Let's start off. I'll just go in order on my screen here, and that means we're going to go to Ryan. Ryan, what's going on, man?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi there. So, I don't have a whole lot new to talk about. I am building a set while we're on tonight. I am building the NES.
Nice.
The kid in me was very excited. I decided to bedazzle myself in my Nintendo accoutrement. And I will see how far I can get in the next hour and a half or however long this conversation goes.
Cool. Ryan. There are no minifigs in that set. I'm just saying there's
That's
no
okay. I've got some hanging out over here.
There's no minifigs in that set.
That makes it even better.
Okay, great. How can you give us an update on the park?
When I miss Thursday night chats, it's probably because I'm too tired from lots of work. It's a very active job site. We're still plugging away. The only announced opening date so far is still spring 2021, which could start as early as March or it could end as late as June. So we have a big window still. We're hoping things continue to improve with COVID-19 so we can open safely for everybody. But yeah, we are still plugging away with the hope of opening in the next couple months.
Sweet. What is lockdown situation for that? I mean, right now, if you were to say, "Oh, we could open tomorrow," what would you guys be able to with COVID or with lockdown, or are y'all kind of open?
No, because of construction slowdowns last year, it's not done yet, and just out of an abundance of caution, we're not like jam-packed full of people, wall-to-wall people to get it done faster. We're doing it as safely as possible. So sometimes that means a little bit slower so people can be spaced out. Some building occupancy rules are followed for the state of New York.
Oh yeah. But if it was all finalized and you could open the door tomorrow, would COVID and restrictions keep you closed, or could you open? If it was all finished and finalized, could y'all open with your COVID rules for New York?
I don't think so. I don't know if this is saying too much. I think the city itself has said yes, but the state has not laid out their guidelines for safe amusement park openings. So in other Merlin attractions, they've met or exceeded their state standards. But for New York, I don't think we've even heard what those standards are yet.
Okay. All right. I didn't know. I mean, in Georgia, you could just open the thing up and let people.
I mean, I left Florida where it was like no rules at all. So New York's taking a little more seriously because of how strongly they were impacted at the beginning of this.
Okay. Yeah. Right. All right. Oh, we got some more folks over in the chat. Brick Bunnies TV. How are you? Classic Bricks. I think we said hello to you. Andrew Sada is here. That's a name from the past. Good to have you here as well. All right, let's go to the freak himself. What's up, man? How you doing? You muted.
I know. I said that as I was unmuting myself. So I am in my new space at my new build table in my new basement. And you can see I'm going to move the camera so you can kind of get a quick spin around. Oh, it's using the wrong camera. Damn it, laptop. Do it the hard way. So you can see I've got all my storage shelves on the side there. And I got my shelves behind me, and then over this way, that's all the unsorted stuff and things from my kids that I got to deal with. And then there's my computer station, and then here's my overflow. And then if I spin all the way around this way is storage.
Oh, man, wow.
All that over there. So it was supposed to be a little smoother than that because I was using my webcam that isn't on the laptop, but for some reason my computer was like, nah, I'm going to use my built-in webcam instead, so screw you. So
yeah, sometimes StreamYard messes with that too. So
yeah, I think I just ended up on the wrong camera. I might fix that later, but I may not bother with it. And then, much like Ryan, I am also building a set. I am building a Bebe Yoda today.
Bebe Yoda!
Which does have a minifig in it. So it's got this baby Yoda guy. So that is what I'm working on today. And much like Rye, I will see how far I get in an hour and a half.
Sweet.
So this is where I am so far. So it's totally looking like Yoda now, isn't it?
Yeah, they started. When we did the statues, they were just stacking bricks. Now it's a Technic shell that you put plates on, which is kind of weird. I guess you can do some more detail and everything. We have Jeff here. Jeff, how you doing today?
I'm good. How are y'all?
Well, I'm awesome, man. What's going on in your world?
Oh, everything and nothing all at once. Working on some builds, getting ready for a Streamapalooza for next week, and just kind of hanging out. Is that it?
What is your Streamapalooza? You just got a lot you're going to be on, or?
So next week, every night for an hour to an hour and a half, I'm going to be streaming me rebuilding the police station that I've talked about before 100 times. But the difference is I'm actually going to be doing it live and going from there. So, yeah.
Cool. All right. Good luck.
Thanks.
Sounds awesome. Jake built that set. He loved it. He found it amazing. So.
I'm in my mock of the police station that I have.
Do what? Oh, your mock of a police station?
Yeah.
All right. Cool deal. Well, I'm looking forward to that. What time are you going to be doing that?
Probably 8 o'clock Central Time, so that's 9 o'clock Eastern. So
cool. Good deal. Oh, Stever is in the chat. How you doing, Stever? I'm sorry, Jeff. What were you saying?
I'm going to try to make sure I don't run over anybody from what they usually do every week. So,
Classic Bricks wants to know how you became an Esquire, by the way.
It's none of your business.
All right. Matt, what is going on in your world, man?
Today's brought to you by the color pink. We have.
Everyone is shocked, but anyway. Oh,
No, we're not.
Pink bonsai tree. So you get a choice whether to. This whole camera being reversed, and that's with my mind. But you get the choice with the bonsai whether you want to do it in the green leaves or pink leaves. And I thought the pink was more dramatic. Plus, who doesn't want to apply 500 pink frogs to the top of your tree to give it that nice cherry blossom look? So, frogs. See, they're frogs. I feel like these frogs could also be repurposed into some kind of like eco disaster movie like Donnie Darko, where all the frogs are turning pink instead of green. But
put them on top of ice cream cone.
That's my official pink. And then, as many of you know, I've been working on this, and I gotta don't drop it.
Please drop it.
Bricklink parts order in, and so the Bubble Company headquarters now has all the rounded pieces and plates that I needed, and so I built this. This front piece is a snot technique, so the studs are facing out, which is the first time I've actually ever done that on any of my buildings. I've always been studs up builder, so a little technical innovation for me personally. And then on the back side, I'm going to try to put a mural up. And Mark suggested it's a kid blowing a bubble. So we're going to use a pink round. Here's the bubble. And I got to make a face behind it. And so I was looking at Chris McVeigh's sketches of faces. He does a lot of superheroes and things like that. But I found a couple just like ordinary kids. And so I'm going to borrow liberally, AKA steal, from some of his work and try to create a face of a kid blowing a bubble with some big eyes. And then I've got Bubble Gum Company spelled out. I also thought about maybe trying to put a sign up on top. But I think right now I'm just going to do the mural on the back and put the label on the back. So this is my work in progress.
That's some nice dot work.
What's that?
That's some nice dots pieces you got running around the half. The quarter circles in pink.
But I actually need a couple more of those dark pink rounds with the one stud facing out, and I'm short about 2 of them from what I need. But I thought I had ordered everything I needed on Bricklink, but there's always I need 2 more of those kind of thing. So maybe I can crowdsource it here in town, and maybe somebody has a couple they can trade me, or maybe I'll just order. They're not expensive.
If you send me the element, we'll take a look. We have a lot of dots.
I hate it when that happens. Then you go in and you buy $20 worth of stuff.
Rich, when you get unpacked, I'm going to ask you for a couple round dark pink 2x2s.
I bet he's got them. Speaking of, what's going on in your world, man?
Maybe. I'm officially homeless.
Oh, good to know.
Yeah. We signed our house away yesterday, and the new owners signed it up today. Our new house will be in Pennsylvania on Monday. I do not know if I'm going to join you for Messy Monday because we'll be in the middle of a snowstorm. Number one.
Oh, cool.
And we may or may not be able to sign for a house on Monday. So,
well, just always remember, country roads take me home. All right. So.
Yep. That's where I'll be. In the Pennsylvania country roads.
That's awesome. All right, good deal. Well, I hope you are reunited with your Lego super soon.
I think Wednesday we're going to drive back down, shove a bunch of stuff in a U-Haul, drive it back up there, unload it, come back Thursday, shove a bunch of more stuff in there, drive it up Thursday, and then turn in the truck on Friday.
That sounds like a lot of work. So
it does. It does. Anybody who wants to help, drive up to DC, and then we'll shove you in the back of the truck too.
Look at the time. I can't make it. All right. Maddie, how you doing today?
Oh, hey guys. I'm doing great. Yeah, you couldn't ask for anything better. I've been working lately on my TikTok. I'm not sure if you guys have checked it out or not, but I retold some Lego stories from my childhood.
They don't. I TikTok because I was forced to, but the rest of them they don't.
Oh. Is that like the Snapchats?
And that's the attitude towards.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like a Snapchat,
Yeah,
but I did have a video that like blew up quite a bit, and it was the story about how my one brother swallowed a Lego sword, and they went to the emergency room, and he got an X-ray, and the doctor was like, "It didn't show up on the X-ray. What's it made out of? Oh, it's plastic. It won't show up on an X-ray, so just wait for it to pass, and it'll be okay."
Pay
so
me
I did that
$5,000. Have a nice day.
Yeah, exactly. Probably during the time when my parents didn't have health insurance for us, so probably was like pretty bad. But I've been working on that and putting together some old sets. So stay tuned. I got some more Star Wars sets pieced together, which is pretty crazy because I'm not a Star Wars fan. But that's what I want, I guess.
All right. Well, if you're setting on a lot of Star Wars sets, are you going to sell them, or are you going to keep them, or what are you going to do?
Well, that's exactly something that's in cahoots because I just pieced together this set. This I don't know, Clout Trooper thingy. I'm not sure. Set 7250. 7250. I found all the pieces for it.
Clone thing.
Yeah, from 2004, and it was like $10 when it was new, but used with the instruction manual, it's going for 40 on the low end. So I'm like, well, if I'm sitting on stuff like that and it's triple or quadruple what we paid for it, might as well, because my brothers don't really care.
That is the name of the game of the aftermarket Lego.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a Lego Star Wars fan and his money are easily parted. So just always remember that.
We like to call that crazy Lego Star Wars money.
The original Jango Fett figure within 3 years of him being in a set was $100 a pop. So
wow.
Yeah. So
I'm not emotionally or attached or invested in any of those sets, and my brothers have long been like, we're okay with getting rid of it. So we'll see what.
Don't tell them how much money you're going to get. So
I know, right? Keep it a secret. I hope they're not watching right now. But yeah,
she's not going to get anything for him. All right, let's go to Pink Wheels and Teal Wheels. How are y'all today? You're muted. Muted.
Someone just put a click it in their hair.
You'll never get it out.
We got a bulk lot. We got a Clickets bulk lot. We've been going Clickets crazy. Clickets. The original dots of Clickets.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have a crazy idea. I haven't built any more. No, trust me. The Clickets. I got all these used off of eBay for buy now at $19.99 for $6 shipping.
Wow.
I mean, lots of frames. It was a good bulk buy. Money. Yes, Star Wars, not Clickets. I mean, come on. Who knows? Clickets could be the hot thing in like 2 years.
It could be. You never know.
They will be.
So I haven't done any work on Nocturne Alley. I finished the roof on one building, and I kind of got block again. So I'm building again for her friend's city. So instead of the florist shop I have to finish, I am going to be building a mid-century modern Belleville scaped skyscraper for Friends City. I love mid-century modern, so that's the kind of skyscraper building. And we've been talking about Matt and I've been talking about Belleville a lot, and like this would make a nice like grading on the glass part of the mid-century modern building, and doing kind of like the waterfall, like pink routine. There you go. That's what we've been working on. And my daughter put more Clickets in her hair, which will have to come out later.
Yeah, shave her head.
Those lattice pieces are really hard to come by.
Yeah, they're coming. The remainder are coming from the Netherlands and Germany.
I just ordered them in white from Germany, and I had to go to 3 different stores. So.
I can remember when I lived up in Rome, Georgia, and there's Toys R Us there, and there was a Scala set on that had that piece, or Belleville, whatever it is. It sat on the shelf. I mean, it was already old when I saw it, and it sat on the shelf forever. I think I actually finally bought it just because I felt bad for it. And there was a couple of interesting pieces in there I wanted to use finally. I was like, okay, fine.
People are talking about GameStop investing. All about the Clickets investing. This is going to be the new Fabuland. New Jango Fett minifig right here.
I've already used Clickets in a couple of my buildings, but I plan to liberally build a lot of buildings with Clickets. They are great architectural pieces.
Yeah, there was some neat stuff in there. Maybe that would be a good topic for a show, maybe to talk why Clickets failed and dots prevailed. Oh, it rhymes. But anyway, just maybe talk about the reasons why. There's a lot we could probably talk about. Got a shout out to Tim Deering. Dr. Terrible is here. Everything's terrible. There he is. And the A&A family, welcome. Glad to have you here. Or is that Anna family? I'm not sure, but glad you're here. We're going to check with Mr. Sandlin and Small Paul, but it looks like he stepped away. But we'll make him feel bad about himself anyway. Look at that chair.
We're not appearing in this film.
Look at that lovely chair. Oh, look, there he is.
We were going into the bins because let's go to Small Paul Camp. There's Small Paul. You can see the kids spread is taking over the floor.
Yeah.
We call those kids droppings.
I think he needs more parts on the floor.
And I love his pajama pants.
Right now, he's upgrading his dinosaurs.
I don't see enough Bionicle.
Just push it back on.
What's up, Neil? How you doing, man? Good to have you in the chat.
Show everybody what you're working on. There we go. Raptor with a jetpack. There we go.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Can we get some raptors with a jetpack, please? And some lasers.
Sharks with freaking lasers.
That's right. Raptor with a jetpack.
What?
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah. That reminds me of my favorite Calvin and Hobbes with the F-14s and piloted by dinosaurs. That was great.
So yeah, I stopped by Walmart today and I got the little airplane girl.
Yay!
She's fun. And I got the surf lady who has the baby dolphin, and I was currently working on a mech for the baby dolphin to be.
Nice.
That's kind of I'm getting the top part of it put together here, but we're gonna
Cetacean ops going on there.
That's awesome.
Hey, Mark, you can actually put friends' sunglasses in the dolphin blowhole if you want to give your dolphin glasses.
baby dolphin does not have this baby dolphin. But
Aww. No.
Oh, how does it read?
Blowhole.
No.
is it supposed to be where that little dot is right there? That
Probably. Yes. Yes.
The mold
'Cause
mark.
dolphins with sunglasses are so cooler. So much cooler.
There she blows.
it's weird. It's almost like I can see on the inside of the mold where it was supposed to be or something.
Oh, maybe yours is mismolded.
Faulty
Rare.
dolphin.
It's rare. $100.
I also like the fact that it looks like you can put minifig legs underneath the dolphin.
Yeah, you could have a dolphin.
Yeah, that's a image I don't ever want to see.
I think we can make that happen though. I mean,
I was gonna say, hold on to your pants because what's about to happen?
No.
Woohoo! That's nice.
Oh,
That's hot.
Hello, my honey.
It's a dolphin centaur. That's what that is.
It's like the
Dolph-tar?
South Park episode with
Dolph-tar,
Tom's rhinoplasty.
What was that, Matt?
It's like the South Park episode with Tom's rhinoplasty where there's a man-dolphin hybrid that's created. I guess you had to see it.
yeah, we had to see that one.
Obscure reference lost on younger viewers. Anyway,
And older viewers.
yes, all viewers except for Matt. All
I
right,
know,
let's
I
go.
know that reference. I know that reference. I got you.
Well,
There you go.
I got you.
Rick,
got you
Rick
on that.
Maiden portraying the role of Captain America in today's episode.
She got that
I
reference.
got that reference.
All right. What's up, Dana? How are you doing this evening?
I am doing good. As you mentioned earlier, it was cold, and then I got a little bit of grief for that because my wife never thinks it's cold here. So it's because she's warm all the time. So yeah, silly you and me, Chris, for thinking it's cold. But
Right?
other than that, did you know that today is International Lego Day?
Yeah, show prep really thought that one through. Sorry.
Yeah. So happy International Lego Day, everyone. Yay! Not a whole lot going on since Monday. I think on Monday I built a little mech, which is down in the basement, which I forgot to bring up for today's show, but oh well. And then, so I spent the day actually recoloring some Galaxy Squad to Classic Space. So that's like going to be a new little project on the side, is recoloring all the Galaxy Squad sets and making them Classic Space, or making them M-Tron or Ice Planet. I don't know. I haven't decided it all the way.
It sounds like a wonderful idea.
Because everyone's it's that question people are asking: is Galaxy Squad considered space?
Yes.
Well, yeah, because they're in space. Of course, it's considered space.
Undoubtedly.
But
I like the idea better when you were saying Galaxy Quest.
yeah, I know. It would have been. Oh, now there would be a property that I would gobble up in a
By Grandpa's hammer.
Lego Galaxy Quest. I mean, come on. Yeah,
What a savings.
that would be awesome. Could they make a really well endowed minifigure?
What?
Anyway, moving on. So
What
What just happened?
Pirates took care of that years ago.
Gotta give Sigourney Weaver her props for that role. I mean, that was just fantastic. Hey, at least we didn't go to PG-13. We just went to condition red for a moment.
Yes, well, my finger's on the button. Thank you very much.
We're standing by at yellow alert, though, so.
I didn't see anything too bad.
I think Dana's finger's on the button too. Wink, wink.
Hey!
Yeah, let's just go ahead.
PG-13. There it goes.
All right.
There we go. All right. Good.
I knew it. I knew it was going to hit there.
Finger on the button.
That's right.
Anyway, so I really don't have a whole lot more. We can just go because I got stuff that we can talk about when we get to minifigure stuff, since that's what we're going to talk about today. So that might be a great segue into Chris.
Here it comes.
Here it comes. Old Gray Brick set of the week.
Month.
Should be a wah. But anyway, Old Gray set of the week is.
Hey.
702.
Yay.
Space minifigures.
Is this the first battle pack?
Technically, this would be the second one because the first one came with just red and white guys. So, and that's why I chose this one because it gave a little bit of color to the space minifigures. Gave us a few more and a couple of droids in there. And there's always the big question: is this considered a set? Or is it just a parts pack? Or is
I think that's a set. There's stuff you got to build. There's the jetpack and the robot. Therefore, a set.
Ooh.
It's a parts
I'm
pack.
going with Jeff's interpretation.
Jeff's interpretation is interesting, but I'm still going to go. It's not a set because I didn't get to put a spaceship in there.
I mean,
You
the
can
yellow
make
guy is
the
a
box
spaceship.
into a spaceship.
Yeah, I mean, the yellow guy is a spaceship in on itself, hence jetpack.
Well, is a jetpack make you a spaceship? I mean, if I put wings on, does that make me a bird?
Yes.
You could build a space rocket out of the couple of droid parts you got there. I'm just saying.
It's close. It's close. It's close.
But is it considered a people pack? Because it doesn't Lego do that now with like the city? The city?
Yes, but we're just trying to give Dana some grief. Hold on.
Oh,
Yeah, man,
Yeah. Hold my beer, man.
But yeah, so let's just talk about this for a moment here. Classic Space from 1986 is when this little box came out. You got 56 pieces, and because Brickset counts torso as a piece, head as a piece, helmet as a piece, so 56 pieces in this box. You got 4 minifigures, and as you noticed in the picture, you also got 2 droids going along with it. Retail price for this bad boy when she came out was $5 whole. So you almost
Wow.
$1.25 a minifigure if you looked at it that way. Gosh, I wish that minifigures only cost $1.25 because now today I
wish I had bought 30 of them.
Yeah, I think today if you pick up a collectible minifigure, that gives you 1 figure for $5. Used price for this and I found this interesting because there's only a few of these available on Bricklink for used, and so $40 used, and that didn't include instructions, the instruction sheet, or the box. So basically, you were paying $10 a figure, which is a little steep even for classic minifigures.
Well, all they're doing is just putting figs together. They're not actually putting sets together. They're grabbing 4 figs and robot parts. Here, $40.
Yeah, exactly. So not a whole lot of movement as far as used sets go for this. But if you can find one in the box, it might run you $200 because even the one that's available on Bricklink that says it's new, it just has the poly bag with the minifigures in it. It doesn't include the box of the instructions, but they still want 200 smackers for that little poly bag full of those original classic minifigures in there. So kind of crazy, but yeah. So what makes this cool? Red Spaceman, yellow Spaceman, blue Spaceman,
the blue Spaceman,
and the black Spaceman. I mean,
I'm just gonna throw this out there. The smiles and facial features of the simplistic head are supposed to be, let's just say, neither man nor. I mean, it's supposed to be.
I'm sorry. I should have changed this side to say space person.
Yes, so it could be a space woman or person. I'm sorry. That's what Brian tells me all the time, that they're supposed to be ubiquitous.
I am sorry that I have gender
androgynous.
The space.
The word you're looking for is androgynous.
But unfortunately, I'm going to have to veto that, Mayor, because for all the 40 plus something guys who
I know it's a spaceman.
They are spacemen.
Apparently,
Or
apparently
space
there's no
dudes.
reproduction in space.
There is no reproduction. Well, you know that minifigures don't reproduce; they just osmosis or something like that. So
Yeah, it was only until like the late '90s that two people could sit in a car together in Legoland. So
exactly.
You just pull a piece off and it grows a new one.
They use asexual reproduction.
on the button.
So that brings us to the end of this week's Old Gray Brick Old Gray Brick Set of the Week is the 6702 Space minifigures, which I think is a perfect segue into tonight's episode of Minifigures.
All right, so we the folks who have prepared for the show. Maybe I hope you have maybe some of your favorite minifigures, but. Question number one, though, for the group: how important is when you're building a mock or buying a set the selection of minifigs to you? I know in today for kids, I mean, my own kid. By the way, my son was I was the same age as my son is now when that set came out in 1986 because I was 15, he's 15. So, so that's pretty wild to me and everything. And I remember grabbing them off the shelf. But so how important it is to you? I know the kids today, minifigs almost drive a set, it seems like. How important are minifigs to, let's just start with that. How important are minifigs to you when buying a set?
Well,
not at all.
Very low. Very low. I mean, it's cool that there's some cool minifigs in set A, B, or Z, but it's not driving me to buy that set specifically. It's more for the parts or what I can do with it. Expand it or modify it or whatever.
I can honestly say that I have bought in several sets specifically because it had a specific minifigure in it, and I wanted that minifigure. Now, I could have been smart and just gone out and said, well, I'll just bricklink it and get it aftermarket and probably pay, half the price I would have paid for the set just for the figure. But then that kind of sounds silly because I could reuse the parts from the rest of the set if I wanted to and still get the figure. So it's kind of a hit and a miss in that aspect.
If I had my druthers, I'd own one of everything anyway, or actually two of everything. So
so that means you're going to sell some because you have 16 of everything.
No, so that I can have symmetry when I build something. Because you know that a lot of Lego sets have one of this part, and if you're trying to build a spaceship, I like my stuff. I know a lot of people don't build symmetrical; they like asymmetry in their builds. I get it, but for me, symmetry. I personally like symmetry in my ships, but
all I have to say is when I like a minifig, I have to buy two of the set because somebody else is going to take my minifig.
Yeah, I don't have that problem right now.
And typically, other than this is the first set I bought in the longest time that has no minifigs.
Yeah, it's true.
Somebody doesn't look happy.
I like it. I'm just saying, I typically buy. I mean, Dana knows.
Oh yeah.
I'm buying for the figs.
Natalie didn't look really happy when you brought it up.
She liked it. I like it. It's kind of
like. You like it? Oh, there's a smile.
It's some more technic parts to put on it.
Well, and that actually is kind of interesting. And I'm thinking about it. A lot of the 18 plus sets don't have minifigs.
Architecture has no figs.
Yep.
The flowers have no figs. Bonsai tree has no figs. Yeah, that's kind of. I
will say that any set that I do get that has figs, I do appreciate the craftsmanship that they've gone into the design and the printing for the most part. That doesn't mean I'm, targeting certain sets for the fig, but hey, you give me a well-made fig, a well-printed fig, decorated fig, I'm happy with that.
I gotcha. So anybody, do you ever buy a set? I mean, I have bought a set for the figs, so I like the figs, but is there a set now? I know Matt does this. Have you ever bought a set and sold the figs and made your money back?
I do that all the time. I don't care about figs generally. I build large spacey things. I can't even think of the last thing I built that had a fig in it. There was probably 4 years ago. Maybe.
What about Fig Newtons?
Well, there were probably 4 years in a row where I funded every single Lego convention trip I made, travel, hotel, food, solely by selling Lego figs. Buy the set, sell the fig, and I was funding multiple convention visits with that money. So, I will absolutely. Yeah.
I don't begrudge anybody for selling off their figs. I mean, if that's your model, that's what you got to go with.
Yeah.
For a town person, as I am now, primarily, having figs is really important. So I have to populate my town. So the figs stay.
Understood. Yeah, and that's the thing is like there's different builders for different purposes. You know, I'm not a collector. I don't care about catching one of everything. I'm not a town builder. I don't have to populate a scene with figs. So the figs are largely irrelevant to me. And some of them I keep. You know, I don't sell them all. And there are some figs that I really like having. I have a whole crap load of orange spacemen now because reasons.
As you should, my friend. As you should.
Yes.
I was going to say, because of the once yearly occurrence that occurs.
That we don't talk about.
Right.
You know we can talk
That shall not be named.
We can talk about it, but I know you guys like to talk about the fact that we can't talk about it. So go ahead. Don't
It's
talk
much
about
more fun.
Hey, we're not talking about the thing we're talking about.
I think I
That's it.
agree that it
It's a
depends on what
secret.
kind of builder you are, because I build for her, and she wants to play with things. And to play with things, it's going to be at minifig scale.
Yeah.
So I build at minifig scale, therefore we have to have a lot of minifigs to play with it.
So I have a newish granddaughter who is 5, and we got her Disney Princess storybook thing, and we went over to sit around the house for a couple hours last week. And when she brought out her stuff, she wanted me to play with her and her new figs and the scene with Olaf and Anna and Elsa, and it was like. And we're, had a story, and she wanted to do this and do that. So yeah, figs are important for people, little people.
Now, I will say that I am the person that sells off Harry Potter and the Friends TV show and a bunch of stuff. I just don't care about the figs. But there are Star Wars characters and Lord of the Ring characters where I absolutely bought the set so that I would get all of the elves or all of the dwarves in the Hobbit series. And so for me, it's very conditional on how attached I am to that, intellectual property. I love the collectible minifigs, and I buy extras of those just because I think they're very well crafted on average. But when it comes to like friend sets, I have no problems flipping those or elves, or if I'm not attached to it, then it's like here's a $2, $3, $5 that I can use to pay for other Lego. So it really depends on how much I care about the characters.
Hot take: the elves from Lego Elves are way cooler than the elves from Lord of the Rings Lego.
Ooh, shots fired.
Fighting words. Ding, 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 ding. Get in the ring.
I think go write a 5,000 word essay about.
I think this just happened.
I think you're right.
I find that that minifigures in general are almost like the currency of AFOLs in some ways, because when I've been to shows, and I haven't been to a lot of shows, but when I go to shows, I find lots of trading going on specifically for minifigs, and I started doing some bulk sorting years ago, and I would acquire certain minifigs that I knew I was like, hey, this guy's worth a little bit of change, and I would take him to a show, and I would trade in minifigures to a dealer and get credit to turn around and buy either parts or sets that they had that I wanted, which usually I was looking for other minifigures that they had. So it was, minifigures trading hands. But it's now come to the point in time where I go down to Atlanta Brick Company. No, we're not plugging them, but I go down there with, a Ziploc bag full of 20 or 30 figures and get $300 in credit to spend in the store.
Yeah,
that's easy money for me.
Sounds a lot easier than selling.
Troopers.
Well, yeah, I didn't have to deal with shipping. I didn't have to deal with fees. I just take them someplace, trade them, boom, good to go. I much prefer doing that than having to ship and deal with all that.
Do you think Lego overcharges for minifigs? I mean, if they bank a whole lot more, because I mean they do trade up and all that kind of stuff, but I mean you almost have to average like about $5 a fig in a set when it comes to the overall price, and they probably cost them 10 cents to make that fig. I'm guessing.
Based on the intellectual property and the conditions around them.
Yeah,
but
you have the IP, and you have the printing. The printing is going to be difficult, especially when they start having different colors passing on it. That's going to add to manufacturing. The two-color molding, that's going to add to manufacturing. Yeah, if it's a plain fig with a space logo stamped on it, by all means, that's going to be cheap. But when you start looking at some of the CMS, the manufacturing costs on those are going to increase between the printing and the.
Well, I would say they're not that much, especially if they're their own intellectual property. It's the bounce back. It's the residuals. It's the royalties on MOF whatever case. If you put a figure in.
And you're right, for those types of things, absolutely. But why is a collectible minifigure $5 this time?
Because they can charge it.
Because they can charge you.
I know why. Because we'll pay for it. But
because somebody like Chris will buy 30 of them.
But has inflation gone up so much that we've gone from $2.99 to $4.99 for a minifigure?
Oh, I think part of that, if you want to go into the geoeconomic stuff, is things that are going on, that had been going on, that continue to go on right now, based on some trade things going on.
Because Lego is doing horrible business during COVID.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They are starving and scraping for income. They can't crack out the crap.
They can't put stuff on the shelves, because people keep buying it.
Yeah.
I wonder if they up the thing to make this expensive, and then they tested it to see if we'd buy them, and we bought them. So
you're saying that the COVID pandemic is Lego's fault? So they created a virus just so that they could maximize their profits.
Rich, go get your tinfoil hat. We need to hear what Jeff was saying earlier. Jeff,
Alex Jones.
I'm just asking questions here. I'm not making any assumptions.
I don't think it's going to be the minifigs.
Just asking questions.
I don't think it's going to be the minifigs, but I think the Uber sets, the Coliseum, the Star Destroyer, those sets are going to hit a ceiling where they're finally going to push that envelope so far that people are going to stop buying them. I don't think minifigs will ever get there.
Yeah, I agree. I think that Lego's making their big bang buck on the 18 and older sets, with the $200-$300 sets, and we'll buy them. And there will be, first time Lego buyers who are like, "Ooh, you're making a Porsche, I got to buy that." And that.
You're making a UCS Ecto 1, I got to buy that.
Yeah, but as far as the minifigure market, it's kind of built in already because kids love minifigures because. Kids like action figures or dolls or however you want to display it or call it.
Dolls?
They're impulse buys. You walk by the cash register. Oh, can I get a custom minifig? I want a custom minifig.
Exactly. It's easy money for them. What I find interesting, though, is that we're at $5 a minifigure, and then this series is only 12 minifigures instead of 16. So what does that say?
I think
the detailing has improved on the minifigures, and that's why they're justifying the extra cost.
So you think that Centaur was a big deal for this?
I think the Centaur for me was a big deal because my wife and I are both D&D nerds, and we were like, "Yeah, finally!" And I didn't want to buy the Harry Potter set, so yeah.
Ah, interesting. The
Harry Potter.
You
could have bought Brick Forges or Brick Warriors Centaur.
Well, but Rich.
Centaur probably also uses more plastic.
Okay, so a little more. So that minifigure might account for 2 minifigures because it's more plastic.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Well, I will say that diver that Mark showed us with the dolphin in it, that was almost enough stuff to be a polybag. To be honest, in that little kit.
Yeah, but that brings up another point: is why are some of the CMF figures great, like the dolphin, you get all those extras, and then some you're just like, meh.
That's a good question.
Like a puppy?
I think
Like
somebody
Dancing
got a
Girl?
bad review on their employee review for the year for those. You know, yeah, you met the criteria, but you didn't stretch.
Click it.
I'm super guilty of buying a set just for the minifigures. When Batman v Superman came out, the Batwing that came with Luthor, Lois Lane, Wonder Woman, Superman, and Batman. The sole reason I got that was so that I could have a proper Batman with black boots.
Nice.
And I don't look twice on that. Like, I like minifigures a whole lot. I've got 3 bins full of minifigures that have come in sets that I keep together that I don't mind, buying or whatever. But now, like, I almost bought the Bat Truck Command Center thing that came out just because of the figures. But then I was like, but I could just buy Batgirl off Bricklink, like that version of the Batgirl that I wanted, and that was easy. But I can't justify, like, so say a UCS minifigure Ecto 1 comes out, right? That's going to be big bucks. I can't justify spending that kind of money just for another Peter Venkman or Egon Spengler, even though I would really like to. But, like, that's just too much for me. There's a line, and I try not to cross that line when it comes to what I buy, what I don't buy, what I'm willing to buy, and can I get this on Bricklink? Like,
so, Jeff, let me ask you this question. What is the most money you would pay for a set that you really didn't care about, but it had one minifigure in it that you really, really wanted?
I can answer that question with the Batman set that came out a few years ago that had Killer Croc in it, and it came with Red Hood, Batman, and a couple other figures, and it was like $70, and I was like, I care nothing about any of this, and I just got it for Red Hood.
So I have to say that probably $70. I think that's probably my spot too, because for me,
there it is.
Yeah,
Spider-Ham
for sure. Yeah.
Stop showing my child that. She doesn't know it exists, and I have to buy it now.
Spider-Ham.
Spider-Ham.
It's a Venom T-Rex and a little buggy, which I always laugh when Spider-Man gets a buggy because it just makes me laugh about the 70s. But yeah, you could put this figure in any other set. But no, you had to put it in the $70 set because you knew that people wanted to buy it because of this figure alone.
Make glasses out of this.
Well, that's the Spider-Man Noir set too. I think it was like a $30 set, and you get a stupid plain Spider-Man and a generic villain. Yeah, I bought that off Bricklink for $5 and didn't look twice. I was like, "Yep, that's it. Okay."
Yeah, I wish I kind of had, but at the same time though, that set actually had some good parts in it. So even if I don't keep the set together, I might.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Is that like when you're thinking about all that, like, what am I going to do with these parts?
Does anybody want a what was it, the clone or the robot tanks? Because all I wanted was Ashoka and the Ashoka Trooper, and I have 2 of them. Yeah. I don't care about the bricks. I just wanted Ashoka and the Ashoka Trooper.
Yeah.
I think mine is about 50.
And I'll take the tanks.
And I can't tell you what set that is because I think 50 lots of times.
Sorry. I think the most expensive thing that I've done, I just thought about it, and I paid $110 for the gray and blue X-Wing that Poe flew from The Force Awakens. And that was in the aftermarket. And I really wanted that Poe minifigure, and a guy in my lug was selling the set, and he gave me a deal. And I think that was the real driving force. Besides, I really liked that X-Wing, and I really wanted that minifigure of Poe. Like, I'm not going to do anything with that Poe. He's never going to be in a diorama. He's going to sit in his X-Wing with BB-8. And that's just where they go. And I'm like, did I waste my money? It feels like I kind of wasted my money. But on the other hand, I finally got an X-Wing. So, and one that I wanted because, it was definitely classic space colored. And it was my favorite X-Wing of those movies. So, yeah.
Let me welcome a few folks over here. We talked to Tim. Minifig Collector is here. He is in the right place at the right time. Doc Sampson in the chat as well, and my friend Micah, glad you're here, and so glad you guys are joining us. All right, so let's change gears a little bit. So some of us are really passionate about the minifigures. Some it just depends on the property. So let's go through. Maybe let's talk about our favorite figure if you've got it or got one. I'll go ahead and start, and it won't be a shock. My all-time favorite is always going to be light minifigure, the first space light minifigure, just
What set did that
because
come in?
mini. But now this he was a game changer for me as a kid, because that's when space was introduced. That's when all of a sudden you had a minifigure that was not a town person or a basic minifigure. He had a role in space and an adventure, and I think that's what the original space sets did. So for me, the white and that was an extreme amount of joy getting the Benny Space Squad and putting together a brand new, clean, because it's hard to find a really good, clean white spaceman. And putting that white spaceman together, it was one of those experiences like seeing my kid born, but not exactly. You know what I'm saying? Because that was more red. But anyway, it was an amazing experience just to hold that guy and remember as an 8-year-old, 9-year-old kid going, "This is the best thing ever." This white man. Oh, who's here? Anyway, so that's one of mine. I'm going to show one more that I find as an oddball that is my absolute favorite. Just because of the thought that went into it. Let me put myself on the screen one more time. Series 8 diver guy. Do y'all remember him?
Yep.
Love that page.
Couple things about it. They put the 1x1s to weight his feet down, which was amazing. And the other thing is they went to the length of the face shield or whatever actually magnifies his face. And I just think that's a great detail. This is a great figure. They didn't use this part anymore. I wish they had. But those are two of my absolute favorites. I got more, but those two are super great minifigs there. So let me go to Pink Wheels. I know that we're getting the evening's getting a little long on the tooth here for y'all. So let's share some of your faves. Oh, we have Minnie. Oh, you're muted. Muted. Ah.
I'm sorry, but I love the Amidala. I don't know why, but I wish they would have this amount of detail on all figs. I mean, it's a 1-for-1. I mean, you couldn't have done that better. And then I love older Ashoka, and this is our favorite combined Friends elf. I mean, just look at the detail they did on her.
That is pretty great.
With the 2-colored cape and the I just love aqua. And then this is one of my favorites. Miss Scratchton Post. I'm not a cat person, but this would turn me into a cat person. She just got so much character. Yeah. They have the hair on all over her.
Yeah.
And then I love Luna Lovegood, so I got Luna Lovegood. But this is the oh God, I can't remember his name. Can you put your stuff away? Who is this? Gilderoy Lockhart.
Yep.
And this is from the early 2000s, but look at the quality they put on it. I mean, there's gold on that vest.
And not to mention, he was the first dual printed molded head.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. That was Professor
Snape.
Snape.
Not Snape. It wasn't Snape that was the coral.
But, I mean, they use sand red, which is rare. But they look at, if you can see, it's kind of hard to see. They put a gold print on that vest, and it is just gorgeous. And I love him anyways, but
it is a nice fig.
Can I tell you something about that fig? I used the face of that fig for my first Sig fig, and I took a pen and drew on a goatee and all that kind of stuff. And that fig's probably worth big money right now. I'm pretty sure.
It is. It's pretty worth. Yeah. And then of course Blacktron, because I did have a few classic space, but we mostly had Blacktron, and I love the new Blacktron, so I have new and old Blacktron, and Garmadon, and pajamas, and Kimmy Vicodin, because I can't believe they made an F1 driver, okay? So millions of dollars a year this guy's getting earned, and what kind of minifig does he get? He gets a sticker.
Yeah.
On him. They get a sticker on him. He's a Formula 1 champion, and we're going to make a fig, but let's put a sticker on him.
It's so he'll stick around.
No, no respect.
No respect for poor Kimmy and Masa. I have Masa too somewhere, but I love it. I love racing. I love F1. Kimmy is hilarious. He says let's just say, very off-color things, and he always eats ice cream. And they gave him a sticker. Poor guy.
Hey, where Brian showed those figures. Let's go ahead and see it. We need to see what's going on in your house.
This is one of Brian's favorites here. We'll just go for it. Slave Woody. The minifig that everyone needs. He has Slave Woody up in our living
That's
room.
hot.
And my mom and my dad and my mother, like, they're like, what the hell is that?
That's wrong. That's just wrong.
Beautiful
That's
thing.
awesome. All right.
Sorry, so those are my favorites. I think the Amidala, I wish Lego would put that kind of effort into IPs. And the Ashoka. I mean, the Rebels Ashoka, I think, looks better than the one they just came out with.
I think so too. Now I will say that Amidala is the only one that I bought the set and sold the figs for. I paid for that sub. I found it like 2 weeks early at our Toys R Us, and I just wanted the parts from the sub, so I sold her right immediately. And I should have held on to her because I could have made a car payment. I'm pretty sure with her right now. So
yeah, I have 2 of her, and we found one more extra, and I sold her for about $90. I have one of them.
Man, that's awesome. All right, who wants to go next? Got your favorite minifig. All right, Rich. So what you got?
Okay, I put some links in the chat.
Can you take your
The private chat.
The private chat. Yep.
You can show yours later.
So essentially, as figs go, the Force woman was like new. There was never. I mean, you had figs that were supposed to be representational of women, but she was a woman. She was a Force woman.
I say she's anatomically correct.
Yes, she had some stuff going on there, and you could use her for a variety of different things. Her and the pirate ladies are definitely in that same genre at the same time, and they may be using the same printing to some degree.
There was no ubiquitous of what kind of gender she was.
There was definite some detail about what she was or was not. She was a Force woman, and the pirate women.
Was she the first one that had the body shaping added to the fig?
Yes,
printing?
because there was a castle woman that was all white with the pearls.
Yeah,
but she had no shape other than she wore a dress.
This
fig had some shaping in the print.
They get a lot of cardio in the woods, I guess, and running around. I got you.
Running around. But I have to say, the newer figs, the ones that make me smile the most, are the ones that have come out recently in the advent calendars and some of the other sets with the sweater, the ugly sweater, the Star Wars sets and the city advent calendar sets. Those are they just tickle me.
They're cool. They're super cool. All right. Thank you. All right. Forest woman. Oh, yes.
Muted.
Natalie would like to show off her favorite figs, which are all custom friends, including a friend's Shoka.
That's
of course.
Nice.
That's awesome.
And the Space Natalie.
Space Natalie is dope. Very cool. Space Natalie needs a spaceship.
Yep. Yes. Spaceship.
I love it. All right, somebody else, your favorite official minifig, or maybe one you came up with. That's fine too. Who was it? All right, Matt. Matt, who doesn't like minifigs, go ahead.
Matt, who likes certain minifigs, like collectible minifigs. So, I have no idea who this character is, but I adore the spotted guy from the Lego Batman. Like, I didn't buy this set to get the minifigure. I just went on Bricklink and I was like, I need this. And $20 later, it was coming to my house.
You paid $20 for that?
I don't remember how. It was not cheap though. And then there are the minifigs that are just hilarious. So like the Sasquatch with the camera, because he never gets photographed, just makes me giggle inside. every time I look at him and they put the camera in his hand, I'm like, yes, that's hilarious. Which also goes with the shower guy who's modestly attired with a towel, but he has the only green rubber ducky because there's yellow rubber duckies, and he's got the lovely shower cap. Hilarious. Then there's the rugby player with the messed up grill. Look at those teeth. My camera's not autofocusing. So yeah, this guy, I mean, you know, he holds the ball in a really bad rugby form position, but you can tell this guy just doesn't care because he's carrying the ball with one hand, which you're never supposed to do. And he's had his grill messed up several times. So I love this.
That's cool.
Medusa. I like the Medusa and the Poseidon. Look at that hair. I mean, come on. How can you not admire the fact that she has a completely unique hairstyle and she has a snake body? That's fantastic. And then last, I know you're all like, what is he doing? Is he filibustering? I don't know. Last but not least is a quartet of just amazing figures that came out a couple years ago. And I actually went online and bought some third-party plates for them to stand on that are appropriate. And that is our Wizard of Oz figures. And I bought the special yellow brick road plates. It was stupid, but I needed it. It was very important for my happiness. So I absolutely love the Tin Man. The characters, the dog is very well done. The heart and everything. Ah! What's that? But I bought one of each of these, and after I opened them, I was like, I need a second set. So I have 2 sets of the Wizard of Oz characters because you can never have enough Wizard of Oz. I'm done.
Awesome. Super awesome. All right. Welcome to the chat over there. I saw Breaking Up Brad. Good to have you here, buddy. Let's see. There's some folks have been saying their Darth Raven is there. Favorite fig. Somebody like the green rubber ducky. Titanium J says not a unique hairstyle. General Machia from Ninjago had the snake hairpiece in dark red. So there you go.
Dun dun dun.
Ninjago knowledge dropped. So all right. Mr. Sandlin. Mr. Sandlin is pining here for his favorite.
Love it.
There she
is.
Ice Lady. And somebody said, what was her name?
Dr. Kelvin, I believe they gave her a name.
Dr. Kelvin.
In I guess for what, the mobile game, she got a name?
The Legacy on Heroes Unboxed.
As in the Kelvin temperature scale?
Correct.
Yes.
0 degrees Kelvin, as a matter of fact. She's frozen.
She's a science.
I heard she was as cold as ice, though.
She's cold as ice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
There we go.
I really like this piece of art, too, so I have her sitting with the piece of art. And she usually hangs on my wall behind me there, but it's great.
Are you pining? Or
Yes.
Did they use Scarlett Johansson-y kind of look for her in painting her, or is that just me?
I prefer to imagine Christina Hendricks, but you do you.
Okay.
I don't know if her spacesuit's generous enough.
I was trying not to say that. Thank you for saying that.
Is that
Boy,
a
got
life
warm here
preserver?
quickly, didn't it?
Is that a life preserver
By
under
the way, she was on my list as well. So
I will triple that.
there you go.
Yep.
But now she was important because that was a genre-changing moment that you actually had an official female space figure in a set, which you did not have before. So super cool. And she only came in the one, so that's great. All right, anybody else, your favorite figs? Let's talk about it. Who's got one? Jeff!
I have a couple. I'm sorry, but I'm that guy.
Go ahead.
So Indiana Jones. When those sets came out, it was the only thing my dad and I ever went to Vegas for to buy. And we bought like 4 of the sets just so that we could get Indy, that we could get Indy's dad, and that we could get German soldiers and all sorts of things. And he helped me build every last of those sets. And that was the last time we built with Lego together. The OG Forestman, because, you know, you got to have Robin Hood. These are just awesome. These are from my childhood. I remember just building Robin Hood stuff, and especially when Robin Hood Prince of Thieves came out, and then Robin Hood Men in Tights came out. So I was all set. This Star Wars, the Knights of the Old Republic character, whose name escapes me right now for some reason, but she came with the Old Republic fighter, and that is one of my favorite MMOs ever. And I really liked her, and I really liked the way that she did things, and I like Jedi, and there you go. Luke Skywalker made the list, but I don't have Bespin Luke Skywalker, who is my favorite version of Luke. So unfortunately, we'll go with Pilot Luke Skywalker. The director from the studio sets, because I don't know, I just thought it was neat. I liked how the minifigure looked. It reminds me of George Lucas and Steven Spielberg all at once, so you can't go wrong.
It kind of looks a little Jeff. I mean, it really does. It looks a little Jeff.
The new Spaceman, Space Police Officer, one of my newer favorites that have come out recently. I just love this figure. It is perfect in every way for me, and I love it. It is Satil Shan. Thank you, TJ. I was a big fan of Yvonne Craig as Batgirl from the 60s TV show. So as soon as her uniform came out, I replaced the head with it from the Batman movie so that I have a Yvonne Craig Batgirl. So that's fun. Don't laugh at me too much, but I was the one guy that really enjoyed Nexu Knights.
No, yes.
Oh, yeah, we loved them.
You're not alone, Jeff.
So this figure was my main hero in mocks that I would make, as he was the bestest guy ever. I don't even know his name. I just always had him like leading the charge because of how cool he looked.
No, that is Clay. That is Clay.
Lance.
Oh, yeah.
And by the way, Clay's hometown is it's spelled however you spell Billund backwards. That is his hometown.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
So the first of two divers, I really liked the Atlantis sets. That was one of the few lines that I bought all of it. I mean, all of it. I just liked the idea of this. It reminded me of The Abyss, that old movie. I don't know if anybody else has seen it, but when they put on their big diver suits. The customizable minifigure that goes with my Ferrari that I built, because everybody wants Crockett. And
that's a great fig.
Yeah, he really is. It was perfect.
The 80s CMF guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the little British parts on the phone were really cool with him, too.
Oh, yeah.
I have his phone somewhere. I put it down.
They really need to make a Tubbs to go with him.
Yeah.
I just call him Don Johnson.
But I already mentioned this Batman, but it's the most accurate Batman I could get from those movies because I really enjoyed them. I like the black booties. Blacktron in general, I loved the old school sets and how they looked. Yeah, so I was really happy that when I got that crappy haul from New Mexico, I got like 5 Blacktron figures. So I'm really happy about that. The Aquanauts were a favorite line, so therefore the figures were a favorite of mine. I just like, again, this whole rig, their uniforms, the chrome dagger and chrome spear. Just, I don't know, it just really spoke to me for some reason. Boba Fett, because Boba Fett. I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember what Slave One he came with, but it wasn't the collectors or whatever. It was just one of the bigger ones that came out. And I saw this on Brick Arms, so I had to buy it because that's his carbine he usually uses. So
sweet,
came a complete figure. I'm sorry, I've only got a couple more.
That's all right. You're carrying the show.
I think there are more Batman figures out there.
Yeah, the Huntress. She is a DC comic hero, and I always liked her. She kind of had a life of duality. She was a very devoted Catholic, but she was also not against killing the unjust. So it was really a strange dynamic, and like Batman and her always clashed because he's got the one rule, unless it's a movie. Hot Girl, because I grew up with the Justice League cartoon, or at least I caught it when I was, getting there. And I really like Hot Girl. And once they came out with her in minifigure form, I bought a set that I didn't care for to get her.
There you go.
Good for you.
When they were releasing like newer ideas of heroes, we got the Batman, Green Lantern, and Sinestro set. It came with a little chintzy spaceship and Space Batman. And Sinestro has been one of my favorite villains since the Super Friends cartoon. And the fact that he came out was a for sure buy for me. Yeah.
And that's the only set that has the lightsaber blade in trans yellow.
Yes, exactly. My favorite Batman villain is Ra's al Ghul, and when he came out with Talia 2 years ago, maybe 3, I had to get it. So Ra's al Ghul was a must for me. I just like he's got a dual-sided face, and he just looks menacing and mean. More CMF, but I modified the Space Miner, so I gave him a tactical pattern on his face from one of the Marines or space guys. So a miner with a heads-up display I thought was really cool, and I use these guys quite a bit for my old space mocks, and just love them. I do have the Birds of Prey, actually. I have Black Canary and the others as well, so yeah. This isn't my favorite Ninja Turtle minifigure, but the Ninja Turtles just in general, I have all 4 of them. But I just love the fact that these came out in Lego form, and immediately built a sewer playset because that's where they went. And then when I moved, it got destroyed, so that's life. My favorite Marvel superhero is not like any of the big names, but he's a big name now, which is Doctor Strange. And I missed out on the first Doctor Strange set that came out with the movie, but when the other movies came out and we got the Sanctum in Peter Parker's apartment, I had to. So,
can I just say something? The way those flames are positioned, it looks like he's giving me the cosmic flip off with both hands.
It does. That's the flip off of Agimato.
Gotta love it.
And this is the last one. I'm sorry, I took forever. I apologize.
No, you're doing it all fine. Keep rolling.
I'm really happy somebody had more than me.
So I was so against this line when it came out because I was like, that's, ruining the Monkey King storyline and Chinese mythology and blah, blah, blah. But then I looked at it more and I went, oh, man. And I really like this minifigure. I like the detailing that's on his leg prints. I like the fact that he's got a pair of Converse on, even though they're not Converse. Mm-hmm. I just like him. He's very detailed. I like that the headphones piece. I like the fact that it came with 2 of them in this set. And just really cool. Just, I don't know. I'll never use this guy in a mock, and I'll never, ever take him apart. But for some reason, I just really like it. I don't know why. And these are just my favorites. Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Yeah. No, I like the Monkey Kid fig too. You just get if you buy, every set has him in it. So you start to get multiples like the Hidden Side figures. But he's a great figure. Like you said, there's a whole lot they put a whole lot into that fig. And so.
His jacket torso reminds me of the old red space torso that you got. Like there was a jacket. I don't know if you guys remember that one.
Yeah.
And I have like 10 of those, and I've always wanted to use those as like part of a uniform for an away team or something. I don't know why, but that jacket just reminds me of just how well it was done. So
that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, who else wants to share? Who hasn't shared your favorite figs?
I can jump in unless Nerf Herder or Brick Maiden want to go first.
I got a couple actually.
Adrian.
What? Adrian.
Yes, I do. Believe it or not. So,
good night, everybody.
How many times has this guy shown up?
3 so far.
Yes.
So there's that guy. I've always loved Blacktron. I've built Blacktron mocks in the past, and when I was a kid, I had these guys and had the Space Police guys, and I had so much fun having the battles. And of course, Blacktron always won in my world. But I got that guy. That's just the way I am. So surprisingly enough, about this guy. I love the face on this dude.
Yeah.
On the hazmat guy. I just love that. Oh God, what am I seeing here? Look on his face.
I almost pulled that one.
Yeah, and then I've got one more, but I couldn't find it at short notice. The collectible minifig shark costume.
Because from the Batman series, or no. The blue one. The blue one.
Left Shark from Katy Perry.
Left Shark, exactly. Because I adore the whole Left Shark meme. So So those are my couple of solid. Even though I profess to not like figs, I like figs. I just don't keep them. Yes, that guy. Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
So I don't keep the figs, but I do still like them. I like that Lego makes them. They're great for me to sell to you guys because you enjoy them way more than I do, and it's good. They're getting into the hands of people who love them, and that's cool. So, but I still keep some around just because I have some. And if I had my setup like in my old basement, I have a whole shelf about yay long that actually has figs on it but I haven't unpacked them yet. So, but that's what I like.
Sweet. All right. Who wants to go next? Oh, we lost somebody. Who did we lose? Oh, the Pink Wheels.
Yeah, she said goodnight and nobody acknowledged her.
Oh, sorry.
God. Sometimes when you gotta go, you gotta go.
That's right. That's right. When it's time for kiddo bed at that age, it is time for kiddo bed. So, all right, who wants to go next? Somebody. All right, Ryan. Here we go. Go ahead.
So I've got 3. I don't keep a whole lot, but the ones that I keep are because they sort of tickle that funny bone for me too. So one of my favorite figures is this guy from, I think he was the second wave of the Agents. It was like Ultra Agents 2.0 or something, and I think his name is Inferno or something like that. But I just love the idea of this like pyrotechnic enraged guy walking around with flaming skull. And he had this like crazy cool hoverboard, but I've actually been using this as sort of a de facto prop when I've been doing Legoland stuff because after Lego Masters, it seems like everything is sort of focused on the story, and I can concoct stories with this guy where it's like, why is he so mad? It's his commute, or his ice cream melted because he held it too close to his face. I'm like, kids love this just like angry guy because sometimes we all just get angry for no reason, and I love him. So my next favorite, which ironically enough is because he's got almost the exact same armor, was the dark blue classic space soldier guy with
Galaxy Trooper.
Yeah, I have like 20 or 25 of him just because someday I'd like to build a mock that uses him, and I don't have that many of any other figure.
And I'm holding you to it.
I love that they printed like a heads-up display on his face because they didn't do a visor on the helmet. But if you flip it around, he also has like an optical reticle thing over his eye that I just thought that was a nice touch. They really didn't need to do that because the head is in a helmet and you'd never know otherwise. And so my last one, this one is sort of a litmus test, and it'll be interesting to see what the different members of this group say. I don't know if anybody remembers the name of this guy.
Bob.
Who said Bob?
Jedi
Who
Bob.
said that?
I did. Jeff did.
Isn't it
Bob.
Jerry the generic Jedi?
What did you say, Adrian?
Jerry the generic Jedi.
Okay, that's the first time I've heard Jerry, but I remember in the very beginning this guy coming out with like the very first gunship, and people called him Jedi Jimmy. Apparently, that was not the case throughout the entire community. That some groups called him Jedi Bob. It was made canon in one of the Lego Star Wars encyclopedias written by Andrew Beecraft and Chris Malloy at Brothers Brick, and they basically made it canon to call him Jedi Bob. But I distinctly remember us calling him Jedi Jimmy. And I sent a link to the chat earlier, but I ended up finding mine while I was sitting here building. I forgot I had one. But the thing I love about him was first that he had a dark gray tunic. He was different than everybody else. But also, like, when you picture him going into the Geonosian arena battle with this goofy grin on his face, like Kit Fisto, like, he just seems like he's wandered into this event that he has no idea the importance of. And you know he's the next guy who's going to die, like, without a doubt. He dies off screen, some inglorious, horrible battle death, and just smiling the whole time.
He could have had a red shirt.
Yeah.
And
Some battle droid just puts its gun against his head.
And I believe he's worth a little bit if you have I mean, that figure is hard to get or something like that in Lego circles, I think.
I haven't looked it up lately. I just happened to hold on to him because, like I said, that dark gray tunic for me was nice and special. I don't know if people still think he's special or not, but yeah, he's a fun guy.
I'm waiting for George Lucas to put out the special edition where Anakin says, "You're going to pay for the death of Jedi Bob."
Let's see. Have we been around the room? Has everybody done theirs? All right, Dana, what you got?
I'm ready.
Maddie.
So this is kind of goofy, but this was probably one of my first Legos that I ever got as a gift. It's a CMF. I'm not sure from when, but I remember getting it like after I graduated college, and it's been all over the world with me. So we went to Austria, Germany, hung out in China for a bit, and it always stuck on a magnetic Lego, so it was on my fridge. And now he's back in Ohio with me. I love him because of his printing, but also he has a little bit of a naughty side. They didn't. He's wearing yeah.
There's no pants in the back.
Yeah, there's no pants in the back, and you think like, why didn't they print there? Like, whatever. And then
they call it a child's toy line.
Yeah. The other ones, I just really like the dark side of minifigs, and I really like the skeletons with the wiggly arms, not the new ones, and the Professor Snape with the glow in the dark head. That is like my all-time favorite. He's so cool. That's it.
And the glow in the dark ghost.
Yeah, the glow in the dark ghost. Yeah.
I forgot Snape had a glow in the dark head. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's right. The first one did.
That was so long ago.
The first one.
He's so creepy though, like his facial expression, and then to have it glow in the dark, you're like, what was he doing? Creeping around the castle, you know.
Well, another thing that's weird about the Snape thing is he doesn't have a nose, right? Or not Snape, but
no.
There's the nose print is on there, but there's not nose print on other minifigures except for the Indians or whatever, right? So,
yeah, and to show he has slits like a snake.
Yeah, well, you think they would use this head for Voldemort, not for Snape. You know, because Voldemort would be glow in the dark. Why is Snape? Yeah. Snape never.
Yeah. I think somebody got confused when they put it all together.
Most likely.
Right. Yeah. All right, Dano, what you got, man?
All right, I'm going to try and do this as less than a 2-minute TED Talk, but maybe not. We'll see here. So, all right. So first and foremost, of course, much like Chris, I got to go old school.
Oh, yeah, I knew it. I was waiting.
I'm sorry. That was the wrong one. That was the wrong one. So, yeah. So got to go with the red spaceman. First space set I ever had. First space set I ever had came with a red minifigure. So red spaceman. So first and foremost, go ahead.
So much opportunity for y'all to do that. It took this long. It took an hour and 22 minutes for the stinking blue hand dude to show up. I was already prepared for it. So go ahead.
Because you know, Chris, the best jokes are the ones that you savor and you take your time with. So yeah.
Revenge is a dish best served cold.
So definitely, but in all seriousness, the red spaceman. I know for Chris it was the white one for you, but for me it's the red one.
Got it.
They were the pilots. So in all my space mocks, if there's going to be a pilot, it's going to be a red spaceman because that's what they were. Even though I have a blue Benny Spaceman costume, I really wanted to make him red, but I had a feeling that people wouldn't really know who he was. So yes, I pandered to the market and made him blue. So people thought, they call him Benny, but that's neither here nor there. After that, of course, yes, we talked about Dr. Kelvin. She's a hottie, or is she a coldie? I don't know how to know about that.
She's icy hot.
She's icy hot. There we go. She's icy. She's so cold. She's hot. And again, we got a little bit of a space theme here. Go figure. But in the early '90s, when I wasn't in Lego, but I still saw these on the shelves, the M-Tron figures.
Mm-hmm.
Just that red, white, and black, and that hint of neon green. Just it works for me. Works for me. Part of the reason why I love those sets so much is because of the minifigure. We're just going to kind of go through time a little bit in classic collectible minifigures. This gal,
yes,
she's dropped her. She's a hottie. She's a hottie. You can't go wrong with the collectible minifigure gal or space girl. First time, got some pink, got some darker pink sleeves there with the blonde, the blue lipstick. I mean, come on, she's great.
Dude, that's Farrah Fawcett and Saturn 3, and you know why you watched that movie. So
let's just move on before we get stuck on that.
Drop the PG-13 warning.
Something like that. And I couldn't pull her out of the basement, but I would put Ashley Starstrider And if you don't know who Ashley Starshrider is, she goes along with Jake Firebrand here from the Galaxy Squad because they're orange and because I have a perchance for orange in general. But orange in space, I mean, even before our little orange spaceman, I know there's been a lot of comments in the chat about that. Space. I don't know. If you got this going here, and we're going to go for the trifecta, because for me, it's a faction. It's a faction. You got your space miner, you got your pilots, you got your whatever guys. I love all the orange space figures. You can't go wrong.
Well, what about the X-wing fighter guy?
The X-wing. I mean, the Star Wars. Nah, not Star Wars. But let's talk Star Wars, shall we?
So well, he's space. Star Wars is space.
Segue. No. Star Wars is not space. Let's just go ahead and not do that argument.
Star Wars is the downfall of all space Lego because let's not go there. Anyway, but one of my favorite Star Wars minifigures has to be Shaak Ti, because when this figure came out with the Jedi Interceptor ship, I was like, this is awesome. It's great. The fact that we later get Ahsoka Tano, and she's of the same race, but this gal, she's right there for me. I just loved when they came out with this, the printing on their head and the headdress, just an original classic. After that, I got to say my other favorite Star Wars minifigure, and I always forget his name because it's not a canon name that sticks in my head, is Qui Toltzite, but he is a Pike, and if you watch it, and it's hard to see, but his printing matches up with the hoses that come from his helmet.
Oh wow!
And these figures, if you've ever watched the Clone Wars or read any of the Star Wars Expanded Universe stuff, the Pikes were always kind of these sinister, seedy, dark side, underbelly mobsters. And the fact that they came out and they actually did a Pike figure from the Solo movie, I was all over. It was one of the first times we got the new minifigure. Instead of getting the 2x2x3 slope, we actually got this new sloped figure or piece. Which they've done to death now. But this was one of the first figures that had it in that time frame. Him and Princess Leia, I think, were probably the two I remember. And just the mold for his helmet or his hood and everything, just fantastic. And then, of course, we've all talked about the Blacktron figures. In general, I got to say that I am a fan of all the collectible minifigures. I don't think that there is one collectible minifigure that doesn't have some redeeming value in some way, shape, or form. I am a collectible minifigure junkie. Where you got, I think, Ryan, you said you probably had 25 of those Alien or Galaxy Troopers or Galaxy Patrol. I probably have 25 or 30 of the Space Miners, and I did a whole big space mock for them.
Space Miners are awesome, to be fair.
There they are.
I think when Ryan, you said it with the Lego with Lego Masters talking about everybody having trying to do a story, and I think that is one of the things that makes the collectible minifigures such a great line in general. And Matthew touched on it with the three or four that he showed, is that usually and not always, there are some that are just kind of generic. They've done some classics that just you gotta put it in there. You got this, but all the collectible minifigures, they've got a story, and if they don't have a story out of the gate, there is some kid or some adult who is making a story for them, because they all have such great qualities about them, such great figure printing. The printing has come leaps and bounds. I mean, I've gone through. I have, and I'm not. This is not a Troubles bragging moment, but I'm only missing one collectible minifigure, and it's the plumber, and I will fix that eventually. But I've had a recent project where I was going through sorting about 40 pounds of collectible minifigures for another company, and just going through and looking at all the differences and spending a lot of time looking at the Series 1 through Series 20 and the evolution of the print quality, the molding, the accessories. I questioned and I asked, why is a $2.99 figure from 10 years ago $5 today? And I think we talked about it, that the quality. I mean, the new Alien figure in Series 21, he's got printing on the sides of his legs, down his arms. just an amazing figure. And the mold and sculpt on that guy's head, again,
dual molded.
Yeah, dual molded, fantastic stuff. We're getting dual molded arms, dual molded legs. I think you brought Jeff. You brought up the Batgirl figure. Is that the one with she's got the boots? Yeah, I mean, just phenomenal work that they're doing. I mean, when we were kids 40 years ago, and the minifigures came out, and they were all one color, and we got a smiley face, and we were happy. But today, leaps and bounds. It is one of the reasons why I collect Lego, and I'm not ashamed to say it. I'm a collectible minifigure junkie, or Lego minifigure junkie, however you want to look at it, because they do drive some of the market as far as why sets are made, sets are sold.
I'd agree with that, Dana. I mean, the custom minifigs, I can't keep up because I don't quite have the budget for all that. Even though you'd think I do, I have some dispersed interests, but I can't walk into a Lego store and not want to pick up at least a couple.
Absolutely.
You see this?
Oh, that's you, isn't it?
Yes. The worst parenting choice I ever made was let the minifig buckets be low enough for my 5 to 10, 15 now year old to be able to ramble through there and pull minifigs apart and make his own minifigs, like 30 a day, and his buddies get in there, and it is carnage in my Lego fig buckets, and I'll never get those straightened back out. So it's never going to happen. But
I feel your pain.
But okay, let me share a sneaky this guy right here. This minifig,
great head,
is one of the best, and here's why: because you take his noggin off, which is this whole teeth thing, and then you add him to maybe an innocent little minifig like the pug, and hang on. You add him to the pug, and you get this. Oh, come on, focus.
Back up, just
focus.
A little bit. Just back up a little bit.
Oh, stupid camera. I got a new camera. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Yes. Perfect.
It's a great. You can add it to a lot of things. Any CMF or one of those guys, you add that thing with teeth in there, ultimate creepy looking. So much
banana guy. Do it to the
you put him in banana guy. It is creepy banana guy. So great. I love that figure. So anyway,
Chris, I did have one other thing I forgot real fast.
Sure.
And then and Jeff, you may appreciate this. So this back cabinet here, which is all classic space today, but at one point in time, it was every Lego Batman movie set, figure, collectible minifigure. I normally don't buy superhero sets in general. Marvel a little bit because I was always a Marvel kid when I was growing up. But when they came out with the Lego Batman movie and they released all those collectible minifigures with all the Rogues Gallery and then all the sets that had the Rogues Gallery, I didn't care that I was going to wind up with 17 Batmans. I needed to have every rogue that came in that series. And so, yes, I bought the entire line, the entire series. Fun builds, don't get me wrong. But the sole purpose was I needed every one of those rogues. So, Polka Dot Man, Kite Man, you name it. The fact that there was a Gentleman Ghost in there, I mean, come on. Just had to have them all. And
Condiments Man.
Yeah, and unfortunately, and I even had a friend of mine who was another huge Batman fan with me that I actually made sure that he had gotten all the collectible minifigures, the CMS for those, because I knew he couldn't afford them at the time. I made sure he got them. It's sad to know that now he passed away, but so now forever going forward, all the collectible minifigures from Batman movies, it will always be a special place for me and my friend Tom who passed away. So gotta love those figures.
Yeah. All right. Somebody, Micah.
Yes.
I love one of my favorite characters in the Batman movie. When he's in his cage. He's and then they go through and say, "What is your abilities?" And he like catch up or whatever it was. It just that's funny.
Yeah. just so much awesomeness. Yeah.
So let me ask you. I've always had this theory about the difference in Star Wars figures when we grew up. The very basic. You out of here, Matt? See you, man. Good to see you. The very basic Luke Skywalker we got in 78, 79, the very basic Princess Leia, Han Solo that didn't look like the characters, but looked like the imaginative whatever, stand-ins for the characters. You've got the blonde haired hero, and you've got the Darth Vader dark, whatever. Now that when you go and look at action figures, they're so detailed. Every wart on Mark Hamill's face is on, the figure, and you look at it a little bit, and you're like, oh. I mean, Mark Hamill is a handsome fella, but it's like I don't know if I want all the bumps and bruises. I want the idealized version.
Mm-hmm. He's as old and gnarly as you are, Chris.
I know he is. He's older. Anyway, but he's I like the guy.
Chris, hold on just a second. I have to answer a question in the chat.
Yes.
Joseph Zawada, I am furious with you for buying a Funko Pop. All right, go ahead, Chris. Sorry.
What? I am too, and I don't even know what it's about. But anyway, but it's that idealized version that the kids can play with. And now that the Star Wars figures made by whoever makes them, Hasbro, whoever, are so detailed that the kids like Lego minifigures better. Is it that idealized version in minifig form that makes them so popular?
Well, because they're not. I mean, they're detailed. You know exactly who the character is. Well, with the Lego minifigure, they can't quite get to the same level that the action figure is, and it's enough. It's right at that edge, and kids can then go forth and do and make a Star Wars story.
Yeah,
I disagree completely. I'll be right back with proof why I disagree.
Sure, go ahead.
While we wait for Jeff.
Here waiting.
Oh, look, we're going to end the show now.
We'll be here waiting.
While we wait for Jeff, I got to say that I actually, in general, prefer to collect the minifigures now versus the action figures or the Black Series figures. The level of detail is amazing for the figures, from Kenner or Hasbro or whoever doing them. But I think you touched on something that I think is kind of relevant to this, is that I get more of the spirit of the figure from the minifigure versus the action figure.
And you could change his head out if you needed to.
Exactly. I can do all sorts of funky things to him.
You can put big red teeth and,
Yeah.
I can give him blue hands if I choose to,
Don't do that. I'm waiting for the rebuttal from Jeff, but oh, look, Ryan is killing it. Let's see how far you've gotten. Look at there. You are muted.
Yeah, I know. Sorry. Yeah, I'm sure everyone knows about this. This set's been out for a little while, but yeah, the hinge feature is great. The working game slot, that's great. And then the Easter egg that a lot of people were talking about when it came out, this side panel comes off,
the hidden level,
and they recreate the level on the side. So I knew all of it was coming, but building it's been fun. It's been good.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Even if you know all the hidden stuff, it's still fun to build.
Yeah,
I don't know that's that, but that's awesome.
Yeah, but you know what? To me, that makes that the most real and the most amazing is the yellow and red plug out the side.
Oh yeah, the AV plugs.
Yeah. That just screams, oh look, we've got new technology. We don't have to screw the little thing in the back of the TV anymore. We use the red and the yellow plug. That was always great. All right, Jeff, your rebuttal, sir.
Boy, I wonder who this is. I don't know. If only I could see his face. Maybe if he had a more detailed costume, I would understand.
Really?
I think I got to go with Jeff on this, that they're just as recognizable in minifigure format as they are in regular format. I wasn't sure where he was going with that. And I think that was to Rich's comment that maybe they weren't as recognizable. So, Rich, you're wrong. They're just as recognizable as the big.
No, I said they're recognizable, but they're not at that. Like if you don't see the Mandalorian's head, but if you do a Luke Skywalker, you don't have all the
Oh,
the
you want Luke
horrible
Skywalker.
things on his face that he does now. It's just enough. It's just enough of Luke Skywalker that
So
you know who
I
he
think,
is.
Rich, what you're trying to say is actually opposite of what we were taking you saying.
Yes.
Yes, that is true.
That the minifigure actually gives you just enough representation that you know who he is without having to go into the detail.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it is idealized and it's simplified enough to have detail, but yet the kid accesses it really easy. I mean, I don't see kids really being excited about going and grabbing a Star Wars black figure and playing with it. Because they're $40 to $20 expensive. Minifig is relatively inexpensive, but it's also easy to play with, clip things on, stick him in a spaceship, all that kind of stuff. But it is
They can
a
do
more
spaceship for him
idealized
after he crashes his other one. Yeah.
Retails for $15 in package. Before they all got sold out, now it's going for almost $30.
Yeah.
I would not let my kid play with this ever.
See,
And this
that's
is
the
the
thing.
little guy.
That's the thing. Nobody's going to let you play with the action figure, but they'll let you. You let the kid play with the minifig and let him crash the spaceship that he's in,
Well, actually,
and then rebuild it.
that's an iffy comment, and I'm sure that Mark could probably chime in with the fact that he's had to buy some knockoff figures to let Small Paul play with because I think Ryan's getting
Ryan's
swallowed by
disappearing into a box.
Just climb
There
into
was
it, Ryan.
there was a package stuck in the fold on the other side of the bag.
Just climb in.
There's
enough
the
for
TARDIS. It's bigger on the inside.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like that.
But so Mark, Small Paul, Iron Man, $30 figure, $5 Chinese knockoff.
It wasn't even $5 for one figure. It was like $10 for 6 figures.
There you go.
Because just to get the little variant figures like the Silver Centurion armor and stuff that's like $50-$60 for one figure on Bricklink, and it's like you could buy a knockoff in a pack of knockoffs just so he can have an Iron Man to play with and lose under the couch. So no big deal.
Yeah.
I will admit, when you told us the first time, I judged you quite harshly, but I don't judge you half as bad now. No, for the
still
kid to
judging
lose
you,
the
though.
parts, whatever.
He's still judging you. Don't forget that. He's still judging you.
Yeah,
Just not as much.
I can remember trying to get. I can remember when Jake was first in Ninjago, getting all the figures so he could have all the ninjas. I went all dad on it and everything, making sure you had all the golden weapons because they were hard to get. And then the one of the shurikens got lost in the couch, and all of a sudden I'm starting to get dad mad because I'm like, I got you these. It's fine. There'll be shurikens later, I'm sure, and there were. So.
Besides, you get to find it later and add it to your collection. What's the problem?
No, it went in the. We got to make it. It went in the vacuum cleaner. What you got?
So here's Mr. Dolphin in his little dolphin sub, and then you can put his little legs down.
Nice.
And he can go hang out with humans on the land. Hello, humans. Hello,
Look, it's the cetacean.
Or sonar.
Hello, mammals.
Should he have like a high squeaky voice or something?
Fellow mammals, isn't it?
Yeah, there needs to be like a speaker on the front of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see the vents on the side from Blacktron.
Yeah, so you can hear him go. So yeah, I got some Blacktron vents going on in there.
And the tail out the back.
Yeah, you got to have the tail.
That's awesome.
Mark once again knocks it out of the park, taking a CMF and going where you didn't think it was going to go.
That's right. All right. So I know in our lug we are doing another environment creation thing for the CMFs, which is a great little exercise to build an environment for one of these things to complete their story and everything. So that's super great. Did you have a rant to talk about, Dana? I can't remember. Did we talk pre-show about a rant you needed a rant about?
It was a rant about lug bulk, but I know.
We'll leave it. We'll rant about that later.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of time to talk lug bulk. But and just as an aside, it is now, if you're in a lug, it's that whole time of everybody trying to figure out what parts they're going to add to their list of 85 and whittle it down to so that everybody can go crazy and order what they want.
I haven't seen the new list yet. They said there's a new list coming.
Oh, they've been. Well, you know what? You know what the funny thing is? They released a list, and then the guy, the land, one of the other land ambassadors converts it to Google Docs, and then Lego came back out and said, "Oops, we made a mistake. We need to update some stuff." And then so they corrected it again, and everybody keeps thinking there's going to be a third one, but no, it's out there. It's already done. It's good to go. Yeah.
Nobody's told. Nobody's told me. I don't know.
What they correct, by the way?
I think they corrected a few prices. For the most part, and then they took off about 7 parts, which it was odd that they took off a bunch of the 1x1 round tiles for some reason, and then they removed the orange classic space torso as well for some reason.
Oh, did they?
Yes.
Glad we got it
I
in
bet
the first
the round tiles are cracking. And that's why.
They're probably changing the plastic.
And last year they removed a bunch of the transparent parts because they were doing something new with the formula for the plastic, and we're getting a lot of scratches. So that's why we didn't get a lot of those last year.
And there's not a lot of transparent parts, and there's a lot of transparent parts missing on this year's list. Like even Windows, the insert into that big new frame, they don't have the piece to go in there. So
yeah, it's an interesting. I mean, we still have 9,000 elements, so it's kind of interesting to see how many things aren't there, but yet there's a lot of new stuff in comparison. So.
Well, I also want to know, it's like, okay, does anybody actually buy Duplo from Lugbulk? I just want to know, because
that's a good question. I would love to be able to get a hold of Thomas at Lugbulk and ask him, hey, can you release to us some sort of statistics of what gets ordered from each lug and what quantity, just out of curiosity. I would be fascinated to see that.
One of the guys in my
even if I wanted a bunch of 2x4
come on, Rich, I was talking.
red Duplos.
You get him, Adrian. Get him. Get him.
One of the guys in my lug bought the Duplo slides on Lugbulk a few years ago.
Oh, cool.
Did he do like a big GBC with him or something like that?
He was going to, but never got around to it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Right, you can go now, Rich.
Oh yeah, sorry. My apologies. Yeah. Hey, Duplo slides are important. I was thinking that even if you wanted to, as one of the individual lug members, wanted to get a bunch of 2x4 red Duplo bricks, what are the chances that's going to be the high selected item out of your lug that you can order?
I have a theory. I have a theory on some of this. No. I got a theory on this because our lug is young in comparison to Lugbulk, criteria. So this is our 3rd year, and so the first 2 years there was a lot of things that happened that were obvious. Masonry bricks in every color, foliage in every color. Things that people were like, I need this. This year, just the precursor or the hint of what people are ordering. Like I'm ordering the 2 pieces that make up a 1x2 hinge brick because I find that I need them, and I'm always needing to order more of them. And I'm taking a page out of Adrian's book. I'm not ordering 100. I'm ordering a minimum of a 200. Might even go 3. And a lot of people hit a 1x4 hinge plates. So the 2 pieces that go together. We've got those on there. 2 people have locked in different colors already. Because
is one of them gray? I hope it's gray.
I think so. The other one's white. And because Matthew chews through those things like crazy when he's building modulars and houses. And so the lug as a whole is starting to think about more of what will I use 100 of, 200 of, 500 of, 5,000 of. Yeah, and Adrian, I credit you when I had the Zoom with our lug and saying, somebody influenced me to say, change your way of thinking because you're an excellent example of some of the best mocks I've seen, and of all the best mocks I've seen, they have 1 or 2 elements where they've got like 1,000 of them, right? Because it's that attention to detail, that repetition that gives you the sense of scale and grandness of it. That you're shooting yourself in the foot by saying, "Hey, I want 50 of these. I might use them." And
buy 1,000 and make something happen. Yeah.
You were dead on by saying, no, if you think you're going to get 100, buy 200, buy 300, because you'll use more than you think. And the more you have of them, the more impressive it's going to wind up being in the long run. So, to Rich's point, do I think that somebody would put on their lock-in for parts of a 2x4 Duplo brick? If they had a good enough reason to buy 1,000 of them, I could see it happening.
You build it if you're building mountains and stuff and everything.
Oh yeah, you need filler. Yeah, I mean that's now. Granted, I don't know if the price point to make that as being filler is accurate or not, but I could see somebody doing the math. And we got one guy in our lug last year. He ordered 2,536 white 2x6 bricks. That was the only part he wanted to lock in, and he ordered the maximum amount he could for his allotment. This is his second year, and guess what his lock-in part is?
Same part.
White 2x6 brick, and he's going to we already know he's going to order the maximum amount because he's doing a project, and he's thinking long-term.
Yep.
And boom.
That would be, for me, the red 2x4 Duplo brick wouldn't be for filler. I'm making a faux chimney and fireplace at my new place. So I would have to I want to get as many of them as I could.
Right, exactly. And I think that to me, and I try to instill this in our lug members as much as possible this year, is that the spirit of lug bulk isn't, hey, I can get this part that's uncommon that I might or might not use, but I want to have them just in case. Get rid of that thought concept. What do you want to build? Think long term. Don't think this year, what do I need? Think, what do I need for a big project that I want to do, and that I need a lot of something.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
And that to me is the spirit of lug bulk.
Well, that's past few years. It's been a lot of masonry brick because I built a lot of few buildings that have a lot of masonry brick in it, and it's like finally, yes.
Yeah, and I'm actually not. I'm actually surprised. I can't remember. I know we have the lavender 1x4 masonry bricks. Someone's already locked in, but I wouldn't be surprised if other masonry bricks make it in again, just because those are one of those pieces that are staples for people who are building town and city and stuff like that.
Yeah, and Lego puts them sporadically in sets. They don't build totally with them. They just kind of pepper them with it. All right, everybody, we have almost hit 2 hours, and I was going to hopefully back her down to an hour and a half tonight, but we had a good discussion. That's okay. That's great. So I hope you enjoy your figs, even if you do or don't. Think them so important, but they do allow us to imagine putting ourselves in, because I'm sure we all have a sig fig of our own, so we can put ourselves into our creations, and that just makes it extra special and allows us to live out those childhood dreams of building the thing you wanted to when you were a kid and didn't have the parts for. And a lot of times that still motivates me to continue to build. So thanks for joining us tonight. Make sure that you join us on Monday for Messy Monday. And again, we'll be back next week to talk about, maybe we'll talk about some more about figs. We may talk a little more. Look at there, Maddie. What you got there? What is that? Is a big stack of figs? All the Harry Potters.
Maddie, you're muted.
You're muted.
My old school Harry Potter. Oh.
Yes. Ooh. That Ron Weasley hair piece is the weirdest piece of Lego.
I know. He's got a bowl cut. That's okay.
It's really weird.
It's the Guy Gardner hair.
It's so weird. So weird. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us. Be kind to someone. Do something creative. And for crying out loud, put on a mask when you go outside. We'll see you later. Y'all have a great night. Bye. Bye. Hit the button and